Hey there team. So this is a 3v3 that I did on Anduin. I'm playing as Dale. I'm playing a little bit of a weird Dale army, but I'll get to that in a moment. To my right I've got Fluff as a Mladris, and on the far side I've got Yo Ranger as Angmar. In front of us, Mordor by Kuzuko, Lord Whalecombe with Rune in the centre, and on the far side there is Cand as, well, Tanturk as Cand. So what I mean by a weird Dale army is it's very small. I'm not too experienced with Dale, but I was having a look at the roster and I really quite liked some of their far higher tier units, and I wanted to see if I could make an army consisting generally of mid to high tier units. A few little extra things thrown in here and there, but for the most part, most of the stuff you see here is pretty decent quality. Got two Dalian marksmen, both with the armor upgrade up front. Far side there, Merquindi bows. Then Dalian spears again with the armor upgrade in the centre, spread out just to guard them from Cav. In the back, Bardian Herd and Bardian Herd. In the centre, some Merquindi pikes. So no Lake Town pikes today. On the far side there, one of my cheaper units, the Lake Town infantry. I had 400 florins to spend, didn't know what on, so. But the main infantry force comes from these three units of Earls of Esgaroth. The Earls of Esgaroth they really were the main thing that I wanted to test out. You know, they're incredibly tanky, they've got very nice stats. I want to just see how that actually, you know, what they did on the field. In the centre here, some Dalian Royal Guard. Got my general there, of course. The Girian's Paladins. Now, I don't see the Girian's Paladins on the field too often, and in replays that I watch, so I wanted to use them. I love the look of them. I really like their stats, so I thought, yeah, let's check them out. Over here on the side, some civilians. Again, had some money. Maybe could have gotten rid of those. I wanted another infantry force. I needed some more men on the ground, so I was always going to get that Lake Town infantry. The civilians were there as an additional. In the back, some Dale cavalry. And next to them, some Earls of Dale. I deployed on this side, sort of as far right of my deployment zone as I could, but I wanted to remain on this hill, and when this hill is quite an important part of the battlefield, and if we lost it, if I ran down to help protect Mladris, then there's nothing stopping Mordor from just lining up along this hill and defending it against us. So, in front of me, Kuzuko's got 4 arch units, so he can stand a decent chance. I know my archers are a lot better, but he's got so many more of them. 2 Maranon archers, and then 2 orc archers. Behind them, 2 units of orc fodder. 2 is far right, 2 Moranon halberds, and then copying that on the left, 2 orc javelins, 2 of them, very symmetrical. It pleases me an awful lot, I must say. Moranon infantry, 3 of them there. Then Sauron's Will on either side. Some Temple Executioners without the armor upgrade. As I said before, I think that looks, it makes them look more evil. I think I said that in the very last battle that I just did, so I shouldn't say it again just yet. Oleg High, and then the Melkor's Chosen. Kind of fearsome, definitely outnumbering me, but more of a threat than outnumbering me. He's definitely a lot wider than I am, so you can definitely pull off some quite easy flanks against me. Rune here, 2 Loknar Rim up the front, a nice phalanx of Gamp and Flag Rim, some Scion Rim on either side. Then in the centre here, Eastron Clansmen, one of which with both of the armour upgrade, one of which with no armour upgrades. It would be very, I suppose they'll be used in different ways, but I would love to see the kills from both those units at the end of all this. Some hunters there, and then 2 units of crossbows, one spread out, one not. No upgrades for them. And then 2 Innisrim and 1 Dragon Knight unit. He's facing off against Mladris. And it's a very archer focused Mladris army. Fluff has been he's been playing a little bit of Mladris recently, and it's definitely growing on him. So he's got these 2 Eldar Hatar up front, both with the armor upgrade. From when I see people playing Mladris, I just never really see the Eldar Hatar being used too much. I don't know if that's just, I don't know if really there's a reason for that, but oh well. Nuratino Warriors, and Hero Quinga on the side. Then 2 Eldar Hatar, Hero Hatai, yeah. And then 2 Imladris Blade Masters behind them. Some Eldar Makar there. No, I don't know. Oh no, there is an armor upgrade on them there. And then 2 Eldar Quinga, one with the armor upgrade, one without. And lastly, more Neratino warriors. In the back, Neratino Cav, some Eldar Enway Hero Myro, and then some Goithi Roktor. So, as I say, pretty heavy archer focus from Imladris, which, when your enemy, here, Ruin has gone pretty heavy on the archers too, is not a bad thing. Your ranger's got Angmar, as I said. He's got a lot of halberds, which is pretty common. 4 of them there, and then 2 pikes up in the centre. In front of him, there's 2 units of barrow wights. Mixed in amongst that, goblin trackers, and then Snaga archers over on the far side. So lots of poor quality archers, lots of which is really the only type of archers Angmar has, and the barrow wights, which you're always going to see from Angmar. And Guardians of Karn Doom, as I said, 3 of them. Witch Realm Inquisitors, some Trolls of Angmar, and Warg Riders. Those Warg Riders will have their work cut out for them with Kand, who has brought a lot of Nurad units. The Variag Kafrax here, Nurad Retainers, Nurad Warchiefs Retainers, more Nurad Retainers, and some Nurad Windblades, with Brotherhood of the Lands on the far side there, and some Nomadic Light Cav. I never really bring the Nurad Retainers. I don't, they're really more of a, oh, what am I going to spend this last chunk of money on type of unit when I play Kand, but no, they'll definitely be effective against cutting down wargs, for sure. Nomadic Warriors on the side, up the front, Variag Bowmen. Then a nice Nurad Halberd line, which will hold back the swarm of orcs coming in. Variag Warriors, 3 of them, in order to back up that line. And again, Nomadic Warriors on the left too. Nomadic Warriors, I don't think Nomadic Warriors can receive an armor upgrade, but I might be wrong in that. I think it's the Nomadic Light Infantry that can get the armor upgrade. But, oh well, good. So that's everything run through. Of course, your Ranger will be immediately on the aggressive. But I'll be spending most of my time focusing over here, where I was. Mordor goes for a charge against me, which I expected. But me deploying on the right here and him deploying in the centre means I do have to alter my position in order to face him down. So I start doing that now. I just want to make sure I am unloading as much ammunition as I can into him though. Even if I'm only taking out, say, orc fodder or archers, I'm going to be running out of time real fast if he gets aggressive. So I just need to make sure I'm constantly firing. What have I caused my target right now? We're going up. I think we're unloading this first volley on the archers. He is countering. Now this is my first big mistake. I put my Merquindi bows here on the left flank. My Merquindi bows really should have been in the centre. Putting them on the flank here, they're the easy target. If they were in the centre, the enemy would have to sort of move a little bit further up to target them. So they just start dropping like flies. Now I'll go back to normal speed. These orc fodder start moving up. I don't really want him to be able to arrange himself right in front of me, so I answer it with some Earls of Esgaroth. I was going to answer it with a quick cav charge and then come back, but what I felt was I was about to cut myself off. I was about to put my cav in and then get the Earls right behind them and trap my own cavalry in the fight up against spears, which I've done that to myself before, I've done that to allies before, and I'd like to think I've learned my lesson. So I got them out just in time, pulled them away. But, as I said before, his massive just width that he is able to pull off these things. Now, Rune's not making any quick aggressive actions, so Imladris is more than happy to hang back. Which means he can take his cav and come over here and help me. Sauron's well are of course going to get minced by a nice Neratino cav charge. Or archers, anything here. Really? He's in the back lines. He can slam whatever he really wants. The Melkor's Chosen are the only thing he really needs to worry about, and he's a lot faster than they are. Lake Town Infantry are getting surrounded by the Orc fodder, but they will win that. But these Earls will definitely win whatever confrontation they're going up against. He's using his ability to flank me pretty nicely, and I'm just needing to get involved and stop people where I can. Oh gosh, imagine if he had taken these halberds and came into the back of those Earls, that would have been terrible. The Earls are going to hold out well. They've got good morale, very good armour. I'm not too worried about the infantry, I'm more worried about just the people flanking around them. So I'm just getting stuff involved wherever I can. I've pulled back my archers. I was way too late pulling back some of my Dalian marksmen. You know, you can see the amount of Dalian marksmen that have been taken out just from melee, which is silly of me. Lord Welcome does respond, sending over his cav. Halberdiers. As I say, I'm not worried about the infantry, I'm worried about these halberdiers. I don't want them to set up in a perfect position, so I've been targeting the halberdiers with my archers. But my Bardian herd are going to beat these halberds every time, but it's just a case of he's got more of them than I do. Spearmen having to come in here, stop this flank. I would have loved to have kept the spearmen back just to counter any actions from these Melkor's Chosen, but I couldn't allow these Earls to get totally flanked around. Right now they are basically flanked around in their entirety. I needed to destroy these Mariner halberds. Now, this was a bad thing. I don't know what caused this, but a lot of my Bardian herd ended up getting turned around, and they're just getting ripped apart by a much worse quality halberd unit there. I get the Earls to come in and finish this off, just because I need to free up these Bardian herd, I need to move in. The civilians charging in to just hold back. Actually, I think that's the same unit. No, that's a whole new unit. Yep, just get them stuck in. Just hold this force back for a while I finish everything else. Being outnumbered like this, I know that I'm going to win most of these engagements. It's just the one or two engagements I'm going to lose them very badly. Dalian Royal Guard moving up to get a better shot. Still got a lot of ammunition and wanting to kill these Temple Executioners with their archer fire. Melkor's Chosen charge into my Merquinde bows here. They kill a lot of them. With my Dalian spears thrown into the fight already, and my Earls of Dale coming over here to help win this cav fight, it's nothing to answer to it right now. I should have brought the Earls of Dale back. I believe that call, unfortunately, was not for Mordor. So yes, you can hear that was my half of my forces remaining. But I think, actually, was it? Oh, maybe it was Mordor? I thought it was Cant, but no, it was possibly Mordor. I guess we had taken out a lot of the Orc fodder by that point, so that would have been taking out the numbers. How have the civilians done? The civilians are routing now after losing about 100, but they did their purpose. They held this halberdier's force in place, and they actually killed quite a few of them. So certainly not too bad for 150 florins. I don't really like using civilians in field battles, just because it always feels, you know, I just always like to feel some sort of narrative, I suppose, aura behind a battle, and the idea that a Dale general is hurling civilians into the front lines just doesn't speak too much sense to me. Yep, I've still got nothing to challenge them. Am I focusing my fire on them? I should be. I think I am. No, he comes in for a quick charge to get the civilians. That's pretty good. I don't think I even realised them coming back before he had them routing. Opening fire onto this line. Yep.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
So I was very, very pleased with that. One of these Dalian marksmen managed to get a lucky stab, take out the general, which Mordor's morale is not the best, or at least the orcs of Mordor is not the best. Chasing away some of those javelins, just making sure they get out. But my Dalian cav, I'm just wanting to keep, well, if nothing else, keep these archers focused, but hopefully rout a few of them. But in this sort of situation, when you've got such a small unit of cav, you can get surrounded real easy. and they end up routing quite quick. So that was unfortunate. Ooh, Earls of Dale get caught out by the Olokai. Not many of them left, and they're very bloodied, but they're still going to do damage. Rune, at this point, sees that things are maybe going a little bit south up here, so decides to make moves toward Imladris, which I definitely understand. His cav is mostly gone. He's got these Dragon Knights left, but and some Menace Rim, but generally it's his infantry force now. But with his Na Rim, his crossbows, he's still got a decent force. Yeah, so Sauron's well, but things are not done here. You know, we're still got some Earls left. Sauron's well are not going to go down too easy. These Melkor's Chosen, only 10 of them. They're still running riot behind my lines. What am I firing on right now? Ah, yes. Ah, something good. I'm glad I noticed this before it ended. So he charged his executioners into my Royal Guard. Now, I've actually watched this battle once before. I didn't notice this during the fight, but I've noticed it now. Kuzuko has set his Temple Executioners to chant. Now that's fantastic, but the issue is, when they're in melee like this, they're focusing on chanting instead of fighting. These Temple Executioners really should have minced my Royal Guard, or at least killed a heck of a lot more than they have, but you can see the problem. They're all chanting, they're not fighting. So it's that was something I was just very lucky for, and I just didn't notice during the battle, but was very chuffed with it. Melkor's Chosen here. I catch them out with my Earls of Dale. I was so impressed with the Earls of Dale. You know, they've come in here. I've got the marksmen, of course. They'll be chewing away at doing damage, but all in all, they only escaped with about 3 Melkor's Chosen. They were wavering. It's crazy. They might be locked morale though. Do locked units waver? Maybe. I'd be surprised if the Melkor's Chosen are not locked morale. Good. Perhaps slightly overkill, as you can see from the sheer amount of arrows that went streaming into that general. But still, the Rune General is defeated. And this line, although they are getting kills and holding for now, is not going to hold forever. If you can see how thin it is in comparison to the Rune units, it's going to turn bad kind of soon. But the line is not really the thing doing the damage in this case, it's these archers. How are we doing? Yeah, so we'll have a quick scan over here just to see how this is going. Halberds, as I say, they've been able to run riot through these lines. The Nurad halberds are good, but they were just outnumbered by these orc halberds and the orc pikes, probably outranged by the orc pikes as well. So they just were never really going to be able to hold the line. I think these are the Nurad retainers. Yeah, as I say, I would have maybe gone instead of the Nurad retainers. I would have grabbed another, maybe horse archer unit. Good to hit down some of those cav from distance, and maybe deployed a little bit further back from the line. Whenever I'm fighting, I think it's always a good idea you don't deploy on the battle line if you're a deployment zone. Don't, hug the red limit, of course, but just yeah, there's no need for you to deploy right in the front. Give Angmar a little bit more of a distance to run at you. So these archers are still going to be running, well, they're still going to be firing for quite some time. They've got quite a lot of ammunition, much smaller units than before, so got a lot of arrows to fire. But this is where I wish these guys were Dalian Cav or just some sort of Lancer, really. This isn't quite what you want to do with archers, so but I just send them there to keep them busy. Their heavy armor and their shield will stop them from taking much damage from these archers, so just cut through them bit by bit. The main goal here is just to keep those archers busy while I run my infantry away, because I need to support Imladris' left flank. Blade Masters are good, Imladris Blade Masters are very good, but When they're surrounded like this, they've got some Scion Rim coming in behind them, they're not going to stand. Is that the same unit? No, no. I just thought they were very spread out for a second. Eastron Hunters continuing to just fire away into these Imladris units.
Like the coward he is, strike hard and break the spirit of his army.
The Imladris armor are going to hold out pretty well to that sort of fire. Windblade's coming in. Yeah, he needs to do something about this left flank. This is where Imladris is strongest. But yeah, just getting some Windblades in there for a quick charge is maybe not the best, but there's nothing else he really has to do. So I see. Okay, so these War Chief's retainers are routing from the fight, and that's about all they had left here. I'm not seeing any more engagements going on. Some very hag bowmen, yes, good. Back at the Guardians of Carndom. Very nice shield the Guardians have, but I would probably be going for the Halberdiers myself. But Snag Archers responding, probably still on fire as well. Trolls just chasing away the Nurad War Chief's retainers. Oh, that was awfully close to those stakes. I'm sure he was watching them, but that could have been really bad. Good. Yep, try to hit them from the back as we're coming down this hill. Daily marksmen, especially with the armor upgrade, are going to do okay. I think by this point they had gained some experience, so they were always going to do all right against Rune. A few of these archers left, and I've not actually lost any Earls of Dale, so pretty happy with that.
Very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Probably bump up the speed at this point. Don't think there's too much more tactical going on. It's really just damn, these guys took some fire. Probably some crossbow shots taking them out. Archer's just about all out of ammunition at this point. I don't know, maybe. I think they've still got some shots left, but these Eldar Quingar are done. I think all the Eldar Quingar are just getting thrown into the fight now. We've almost busted the Rune line. I would have liked to have seen what would have happened had, say, I not been able to come on in. Because I think Rune would have broken through the Imladris line. But with the amount of archers that are left, and the kind of, well, real skill of Imladris archers, I think he could have still won this, but we will never know. So a bit of a mass rout here by this point. General's dead, and the Scion Rim are up here. The Scion Rim are the only thing that could maybe hold this formation together, but they're running themselves at this point. Marquindi bows firing, still got 5 of them.
We must pursue and hunt them down.
They are Royal Guard, them fighting as hunters. Managed to get them routing. Oh, I think, wait, I might have missed it, actually. Did he admit defeat? I think he might have done, yeah. Because he did admit defeat at some point in this battle, but that might have been the reason that his army just did a mass rout. Because it was clear, we had quite a decent amount of Angmar troops left together. Fluff and I had a semblance of a force, so it could have been okay. Nurad War Chief's retainers over here, and they are, apart from the archers here, which I actually left. Let's see how many I left behind. I just felt that I was more needed over on this side, so I left behind about 18 and then 30. Dear, 14. I lost one of them, but we'll see the last stand of this Nurad War Chief retainers, because that's much more interesting than watching my calves slowly chew through archers. So he moves them on up there. We weren't okay. That was when Rune did his admit defeat. Well, actually, no, I think that was when Rune admitted defeat. So we've got Eldar Quinga charging up. There wasn't any tactics in trying to deal with these retainers. We were really just trying to get everything we could get up there in the fight as quickly as possible. He moves around. We're just throwing cav at them. No, they've got the anti-cav bonus, but it's just something picking away at them while our infantry run up. But you can see how quickly they mince our cav. So. And we've got more coming in now, so that'll be them about finished. So that's the Khan general wiped out. Good, okay. So I was really chuffed with how that Dale force went. As I said, it was a lot smaller than I normally make Dale, and I don't play Dale too often, so Dalian Royal Guard had a lot more killing in them. So I was chuffed with them. I probably will always choose the Dalian Royal Guard. I like an Archer General. You know, it's the Hearthguard of Famine Soul. You know, I like the ability to just take my general, put him right in the center of my force, and I don't need to throw him into a fight. He's going to sit there, he's going to be doing damage with his bows, and then, you know, if something does manage to break through, he's probably going to hold himself alright too. Got the Bardian Herd doing pretty well. You can see they had 44 casualties healed, so they definitely took a lot of archer fire. Merquindi Pikes, however, didn't take much, or probably didn't take anywhere near as much, and they racked up quite a bit more kills. The other unit, Bardian Herd, a bit better, so that's okay. The Dalian Spears, yes, I had to send the Dalian Spears into that fight to kind of just to hold that place back and also stop the Earls from getting flanked, but I would have loved to have kept the Dalian Spears behind just in order to respond to the Melkor's Chosen, or at least scare them away from the Merquindi bows and allow the Merquindi bows to get a bit more killing done. They were not able to use anywhere near their full amount of ammunition, so that's why they didn't get anywhere near as many kills as they possibly could have. Dalian Marksmen were not focused down anywhere near as much, and they did a lot better. A lot of those kills would have been in melee too, so I was quite happy with that. Galaron's Paladins, I didn't actually watch them. Damn, I should have been watching to see what they did, because that's not a very attractive amount of kills that they got. But I might have charged them into the front of a pike line or a halberd line. You know, it's possible. So I don't know. I will continue to experiment with the Galaron's Paladins, but or Gyrion's Paladins. I don't know why I said Galaron's. The Earls of Esgaroth, two of them did really well. One of them was probably flanked around. Let's see. No, only 2 losses, so they didn't take those to archer fire. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they Lake Town Infantry. They got a lot of killing done to those orc fodder. So I was glad to have them. They did pretty good. Civilians definitely did their worth. They held back that halberd line from pulling off a flank, and they actually killed quite a lot of them too. So that was good for them. The Earls of Dale, nice. A lot of good cav killed. A few Melkor's Chosen even. And then at the end, just holding back those archers. Dalian cav could have been used better, but I mean 173 kills is not something to be too upset about. But I still think I could have done more with them, you know. Then overall, though, I was pretty chuffed with how that battle went. I don't really think anybody made any major mistakes. I think it was just kind of an all-around army composition thing. I think had Rune brought some more melee cav, or like just one more unit of melee cav instead of 2 lancers, I think that could have gone very differently. Us dominating the cavalry game in my battlefield was definitely an aid to us, apart from of course the Melkor's Chosen. So yeah, that was beneficial. All in all, though, it was a fun fight. Thank you very much.